What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Innerpartysystem, and I've done some investigation. And apologies to those out there who've been following this deep dive, as well as to Izzy, though I do think there was a mislabeling which, YouTube's algorithm helped me figure out. Which is further to say, when I did the previous reaction, which is what I thought was What We Will Never Know, which now seems amusing and ironic, the YouTube algorithm highlighted it as Night is Alive album version. So I was confused by that, and there are times where YouTube's algorithms are wrong, or where it'll say like it's a remix or something when it's clearly an original version, or it'll say 2023 version when I'm reacting to my 1984 vinyl or something. So it's not always correct, but it's rarely so completely different from what the track I'm supposedly reacting to, where it's a completely different title. So I looked online for Home, which is the next track in the playlist that Izzy shared with me, and I clicked on Home as it's labeled in the folder I was given access to, and it shows it as being 4 minutes and something seconds long. And I looked on Discogs and on Google and some other places, and it shows Home is an instrumental track that's under 3 minutes. So then I was really confused. So I looked into it further, and it seems indeed the track I reacted to last time was not What We Will Never Know, or what is it, What We Cannot Know? I'm forgetting the name of the track I'm about to react to. What We Will Never Know. And it was in fact Night is Alive, which wasn't shown in the folder. So yes, ultimately I've changed the name of the previous reaction video to Night is Alive, and I updated the video description, and I said, whoops, I thought this was a different track when I reacted to it. So there's another tune in the folder that is shown as 256, which is exactly what these different sites, including Discogs, show Home's track length as. But in the folder it's listed as Transmission. So again, it seems there's been a bit of a mix-up, but I'm just trying to make sure that I'm reacting as accurately as possible. So bottom line, it's all good, and the YouTube algorithm, it's not an oracle, but I think in this case it was actually right, because I looked up the lyrics to Night is Alive, re-listened to the track, and it seems like they do in fact sync up. So bottom line, this is What We Will Never Know, and it's from Innerpartysystem's 2008 album, self-titled. So let's hear it. Innerpartysystem, What We Will Never Know, from their self-titled album, 2008.
Take a breath to say it wasn't
very Depeche Mode right here.
Look out to the earth to find out where you
Well, that's pretty epic. I'm not gonna lie. In fact, there were a couple of not contradictions, but odd. What's the right phrase? I guess contradictions. Like things would seem like they're on the opposite ends of the spectrum, but we're both here. Meaning, it felt mellow epic. Like it had this epic quality to it, but it was really mellow and sort of down tempo. It felt simultaneously melancholic and yet hopeful. So yeah, there were some odd juxtapositions of qualities that are normally distinct, if not opposite of each other. And yeah, like even the lyrics, the idea of like, what was it? Like, there's no part of me left anymore, but I want to believe in someone, in something, which again, it feels both despondent and hopeful, or at least forward looking in the same passage. So yeah, it felt like a bit of a a contradiction in sonics and themes, and yet it worked perfectly. So I didn't catch all the lyrics. The vocals felt very emotive and like there was a lot of feeling behind them, but I did find myself more keyed in on the sonics and the overall atmosphere. And again, like the down tempo parts, it had this melody, but there's also some, acoustic guitar in there. There was an electricity, like a bristling electricity, not overbearing or particularly intense, but constant. It was there the whole time. And by the end, I was hearing very clearly that almost like electrified drone at the bottom of the track. So yeah, well composed. Again, in the sections where it really broke down and it was just kind of that haunting keyboard melody, it reminded me of something that like 90s or later Depeche Mode would do. Nevertheless, a really interesting tune, and again, we'll see what YouTube's algorithm says, but I'm reasonably confident that this is actually what we will never know, and then next time I will react to Home, and I'm not sure what that means about transmission. Nevertheless, again, the time codes for the different tracks, as shown on Discogs, and like I checked this other like website I use for information, like metadata, when I'm a little unsure, and it also indicated that this tune was slightly over 4 minutes, and Home is under 3 minutes, which again I checked transmission in the folder I have and it's like 256. So in any case, yeah, once again, apologies for my role and not knowing exactly what I was doing. And again, like Izzy shared this a while back, so I'm not sure. Like again, maybe how there's like different releases, like different regional variants of albums, like maybe that had something to do with it. Either way, we've got one more to go, and once again, shout out to Izzy for sharing Innerpartysystem as well as many, many other groups. Do let me know what you think, and Luca and I will see you next time. Peace.